Hello, and welcome to Twin Peaking, where I showed my friend Jay my personal list of worst to best episodes of Twin Peaks, and she sees if she can figure out what the show is. If you're liking the show, please remember to like, comment, subscribe, and tell anyone you think might be interested. Also, please make sure to go follow my friend Jay at twitch.tv/JanuaryK. That's January Kay. Without further ado, let's get into it.
You good?
No, I'm dead.
Okay.
Hi, Jay. How's it going?
Hi, I am good, Mac. How are you?
Doing all right. I'm coughing up a lung. So before we started recording, you told me you had a longer thing to say.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I found out something yesterday. And so I figure I bring it up to the podcast because it is subjectly relevant. They are auctioning a bunch of David Lynch's personal items in Los Angeles on the 18th. And so it's I was looking at some of the items and they're kind of fun because like some of them are like very Twin Peaks related. Like I was looking at like there's like coffee mugs and like a director's chair that's going for like $30,000.
Yes.
But then it's weird. Auctions are weird because like obviously it's like the person's personal belongings. So like one of them is like a car radio for a random car. And it's just like it's just funny to me. And so I was looking at them and they look kind of fun.
He also does like a lot of did a lot of like crafting and making and sculpting and like he made a little phone holder thing that he's like, and you could buy this, but the process of making it it was important to him and so like he has a ton of stuff like that is. But I did know about that auction because like I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but I don't think it's under like NDA or anything. So, because we didn't end up getting the job, but like we were one of the people who were potentially going to print some of the stuff for the auction for people to look through and be like, oh, this, that, and the other. And we had done stuff like that before for like movie props and like, you know, I have one for like a Blade Runner auction that we printed and did that just because like looking through it and being able to see the props that were for sale for that auction. And so like we were one of the companies that were considered to print that. So like it's so funny because you and Kaya, you just now and Kaya reached out to me. It was like, hey, did you hear it? It sent me the link on the website, and I was like, yes, I am aware because I've heard the rumbling. I've talked a lot. Like there's two things you know about me. Hey Jay, if there's two things you know about me, what are the two things? Well, what would you boil it down to?
Well, okay, I went very broad, but I was like hyperfixation. You like to hyperfixate on things.
Okay, well, yes, sorry. Yes, these are both hyperfixations. I guess I maybe should have rephrased. You're talking about who the core of who I am. Yeah. That's separate, but yes, you are correct. So it's hard to say like, well, not what I meant. It's F1 and it's Twin Peaks.
It's F1 and it's Twin Peaks, yeah.
Yep, yeah. And so like when that was kind of getting passed around, they specifically came to me and they're like, hey, we're doing the David Lynch, or we might be doing the David Lynch thing. But it didn't work out.
Aw, that's too bad. Well, you know, I thought I was bringing something new to the table,
I'm
but
sorry.
I guess not. So
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna shut up now.
No. What interested you in the auction? I didn't bother to look because like for me, like I do think like I understand why it happens and I think it's fine. Mm-hmm. It is weird to be like, well, it's this person's possessions and so I'm gonna go own them. like you know, like that feels weird to me. But if you look through it, what would you pick?
There's a couple things there. When I was looking through it, there was a bunch of Polaroid cameras, and I was like, ooh, that would be kind of cool to have a Polaroid camera from David Lynch.
Yeah.
And then there were 2 items that made me stop looking because I was like, what if I'm accidentally spoiling myself?
Oh, no. Yeah, that's a good point.
So the thing that I saw was I watched Missing Pieces, so it's fine.
Yes.
But it is the zigzag carpet that is in what I now think is the Black Lodge.
Right.
And the red curtains. Those were up for auction. And there was a script and it had the title on it, but I did not read the title.
Yeah.
And so I was like, ooh, I should not be looking at this. I was like casually scrolling and I saw the Polaroid cameras and I was like, oh, that's kind of fun. And then I was like, wait a minute, what if I get contextually spoiled on something while looking through this? That's when I stopped. But
that's 100% fair.
Those are the 3 things that I
saw. To be fair, I think a lot of the stuff that could potentially spoil you wouldn't clock. Because I think that anything that could potentially spoil you would assume were part of his other filmography, because he had a large filmography. Well, not a large, but a decent sized filmography, right? And like a lot of stuff that was in there is probably other filmography stuff too. So it would be all mixed in, and you would be like, oh, you recognize it because you know it's from Twin Peaks, but
right.
So you may have been fine, and then you would see it, and you're like, "Oh, that's from this."
Yeah.
Yeah. But then potentially there might be stuff that is spoilers. So probably better call to be safe.
Yeah, I'm going to stop scrolling through it because I want to just in case.
There's information I just heard and found out about that I actually would like to share here, but I'm not sure if it counts as spoilers or not. I don't think it does.
Okay.
Well, I will say, because
I'll let you decide.
You know this. I think that the end of the series ends in a very satisfying manner.
Okay.
That does feel like a proper ending.
Okay.
That said, there's potential for more.
Okay.
And I'm actually going to change my light, so this is going to look weird to people. This light's a little too bright. But so it turns out that there were potentially plans for a season 4 of Twin Peaks.
Okay.
Before David Lynch's passing. And I think like some wild speculation that's not been confirmed is that like that's what the Netflix deal may have been. That like if you remember back when he passed, I had talked to you about like
you mentioned that that
like he had to find a way to direct not out and about because of so that may have been what the Netflix deal was at the very least. And Mark Frost has hinted that like he wanted to do more with Twin Peaks and might still do more separate from Lynch, but we'll see. But he like very, very clearly like of respecting the legacy, and it'll probably here's what the spoiler is that like David Lynch's daughter and Mark Frost are kind of talking about maybe releasing a book.
Okay.
That would be the script and kind of turn into book form via Mark Frost of what that would have looked like or what they had.
I see.
Potentially. David Lynch's daughter mentioned that a little bit as a potential thing. Not a confirmation, not a whatever.
Okay.
But there's like an interview where she was like, there was stuff for season 4 and she might want to do something with that.
I see. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
A whole lot of preamble on this one, but a lot of interesting stuff popping up about it. Apparently.
Yeah. It's cool. It's interesting the timing of our series, Mac. It's very interesting of when we're watching it. I think it's fun.
Yeah. So, I do wish I had been able to get stuff out before he had passed, so that way it didn't seem like we're writing that. But yeah. Quick shout out though. This by the time this one comes out, I've mentioned this podcast a lot, but the Detective and the Log Lady, they are reaching the end of their run of it as well, which was a good timing for them. Similarly, so that's the Twin Peaks podcast I'm listening to now because they are doing it currently.
Okay.
So yeah, just a quick shout out to them. Go check out their thing. It's probably wrapped up, just finished. So there you go.
There you go.
Yeah, they're on the last couple episodes, but by the time this comes out, it'll be done.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Yay.
Okay, are we good to get going?
I am ready to go whenever you are, good
All
sir.
Right, all right. So, since they know what episode this is, because it'll be in the title or on screen right now, I actually did want to talk to you. What do you think's going to happen in this episode? Because you've been on a couple episodes ahead of this and all the episodes behind it. So now that we can talk more openly, spoilers about where we're at, or not spoilers, but like, here's where we're at. Here's the episode coming up. Right. I was curious.
Looking at the last episode that we watched, I do think it's the start of the Miss Twin Peaks, like all of those storylines. So, I hope we get more Audrey and Ben Horn. I hope we get more. I really don't care, but we're probably going to get more of Donna storyline with that as well.
The one that you got the conclusion to.
Yeah.
That you haven't seen start. Yeah.
And then I hope we see more Bobby because Bobby only made one appearance last episode. So
yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Alrighty. In that case, let's get going. All right. Hey, Jay.
All right. Hi.
So that was season 2, episode 18, and we double checked. On the Wings of Love.
On the Wings of Love.
Yeah.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, it was a very love-filled episode, and not just romantic either.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I had a decent amount to talk about, but what were your general feelings on that one?
Okay, general feelings, it's a good episode. I don't know, I don't know if I like it better than the previous episode, though.
Oh, really? Interesting.
Yeah, I don't even know if I like it better than the episode we watched before that one.
Right, but we did think the 2 episodes that we watched before the last one were better than the last one we watched. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that the last season 2 episode 21 we decided was out of sequence and should have been bumped a little bit lower compared to the 2 we had seen leading up to that.
Yeah, even the episode before that, I don't even think it's better than that one.
Really?
So, yeah, just looking at the notes. Yeah, it felt kind of like a regular Twin Peaks episode for me. Not that it was bad or anything. It's just maybe because the highs of the last 2 episodes were high. Whereas this one kind of, not meanders, but maybe I'll use that word to describe what's happening here.
Yeah.
It's a transitional episode, it seems, between...
Yes, very much so.
Plot points. So,
we see the ball get rolling to where we're heading.
Yes,
Yeah.
It was a fine episode, but yeah, I'm not sure if I like it better than the other episodes that we watched, like at least the last 2 previously. So, yeah.
I think that's fair. It definitely lasts 3 in that case, because again, we had decided that the last one we watched, 21, was worse than season 1 episode 7. So
season 1 episode 7, yes.
Yeah. So you think this probably sits closer to the season 2 episode 8 range as well?
Yes.
Okay.
I rank it around there. Yeah.
Okay. That's interesting. I have a few points I would defend it with, but I'll get to that later. Because I don't disagree. I think that like it just kind of depends on not necessarily what you value in the show, but like yeah, like I'll defend it later. When I get into like why I rate this highly, because I do still stand by, as much as I'm let down by the ending scenes of this one and the Windom Earl-ness of it all, I do still kind of stand by my ranking of this one. So yeah, but we'll get there. Any overarching ideas or like feelings on it besides it was fine?
Yeah, it was fine. Yeah, I think it's because the character, to me, I think I would rank it lower just because like the character interactions, like it's already established outside of Annie. Does that make sense? Like there wasn't really, not even that there needs to be tension, but it feels like there wasn't much development between characters and their interactions with each other. Like
I can see that.
Like for example, like the only things that come across to me are Ben and his daughter Audrey.
Yes.
I really like that scene, which I'll get into later. And then Annie and Coop. Like those are like the two outside of that. Whereas
Cole and Shelley.
Yeah, I guess so. It's it was okay.
Depends on if you think that's going anywhere, if that was a one-off joke.
Yeah.
But no, I fully get what you mean on this.
I
agree.
Yeah.
I get what you mean. It is very much like plot is it's focused on plot, but like in the idea of the balls getting rolling, not even not in like, oh, we're there yet. This is the start to momentum, not momentum having picked up. And so you can really feel that. And then like in terms of like the character driven stuff, well, there's some stuff there. It's not, I fully agree with you.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Fair enough. Anything in particular you'd like to touch on, or should we start going scene by scene?
We should go start going by scene by scene. I think I'm ready. I am ready for that, Mac. I'm ready to go.
Yes.
Okay. So the very first scene is dead guy on the floor with Harry in bed and the lady that joins him in bed that puts some sort of hallucinogenic drug on his lips. I thought it was poison, but it's not. It seems like it's a hallucinogen.
Yeah, because she takes it too. So you're like, what? What's the plan here?
What is going on here? And then she tries to strangle him, but he manages to fight back. And that's the end of that scene. It's interesting because it seems like this goes nowhere. Like it seems like it's wrapped up in not the next scene, but the scene after that.
Yes.
Of like Harry. I'll skip to that scene actually because it fits into this. At the jail where they put the lady in jail, and they're like, Harry's like, "Why did Thomas want to kill me?" And then Coop goes, "It's probably because of jealousy."
Sexual jealousy.
Sexual
very
jealousy.
Specifically. Because it's like, why would he want to kill me? There's like a beat, and he's like, Coop's like, sexual jealousy. It's so funny because then Harry's like, oh yeah, he would be jealous of me. Like,
yeah, exactly. And then that kind of ends it, and that seems like that is the end.
I would trust that instinct. I would trust that instinct of yours.
So it was an interesting scene. It's just like, if it led somewhere else, I'd be more invested in it. But judging from that other scene alone, this is wrapping
up like the stuff from like episode, like 16 onwards.
Yeah.
So this is the end of that arc, which they do the thing that they like to do, which is, especially in this part of the season, which is, oh, we got to the end of the thing. We're not going to do like a denouement. We're not going to do like a falling action. We're just done with it. Moving on to the next thing.
Right.
And so, yeah, the 100%. Something I figure I should bring up actually right now that I didn't think to bring it up.
Okay.
Is that no, sorry, I did. Never mind.
Okay.
Sorry about that. No, there's stuff I'd like to bring up about this scene. Lady Assassin, like, I don't understand why she's in her pajamas. Lady
Fair.
Assassin, I don't know why you would grow someone behind their neck to start. Garrote, is that how you say it? Actually, whatever. But like, when she goes to do that, she gets it around the back of his neck first.
Right.
And that's like the dumbest way to do it. Like, yeah, I know he's laying down, but like, and like, why did you need to wake him up to hallucinate Josie for a second? Like, I don't, it's a bad plan.
It's a bad plan. She's not a very good assassin if that's her job. She's very bad at her job.
Maybe she's an assistant and this is her first assassination. God, that's such a funny concept, actually. Maybe. It's like, you're an assistant for like this big bag evil guy, like corporate guy, right? And then like as part of your job duties, he sends you on an assassination. You're like, I've never done this before. This isn't part of my normal like thing. Having to figure that out. That's a funny concept.
It is. I guess so. I guess maybe you're right. Maybe I should just not question it.
Yeah, she's like,
that we'll give her.
She's like, well, I think I've seen in movies that I'm supposed to be sexy femme fatale. like it just needed a scene of her like taking notes watching a movie or something, and then deciding to do this. Like,
yeah. Oh my goodness. I'm very like, what a nothing burger scene. Sorry, that's just like a nothing burger scene to me. I understand that it's wrapping up like Josie's storyline, and like I like that Josie makes an appearance actually, even though she's dead. I do like that.
They brought her back for that one scene. It's really weird. Yeah, like, what was their working relationship? I don't know.
Yeah. So anyway, but it was a scene.
Yeah. No, it's not well done. And yeah, but like, I think like, and I get why, but I think that like he should have been able to grab the gun and shoot her, because at least then it would make sense that that's the end of the arc. Like,
yes,
there's nowhere else it could go, but like keeping her alive, which I guess is what like law enforcement should do. So like, good on him. I like in that aspect, but then you're like, well, why? Like, what are we setting up for? What are we doing here? You know?
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, funny. Oh my gosh. Okay. The next scene after that, between the two scenes that we just talked about, was John Justice Wheeler and Audrey flirting back and forth in the hotel room. Not hotel room, in the it was like the
No, it's his hotel room.
Is it his hotel room? Oh, okay.
I think it's his hotel room. Yeah.
Okay, I wasn't sure.
Which is why he flirts with this 18-year-old when he's like a lot older than that, being like, well, next time you come to my room, you better be prepared to get fucked or whatever he says. That's not what he says, but like, he definitely talks about nailing her. So like, I don't, it's about equivalent for Twin Peaks.
Right. So yeah, I put the note in and I mentioned in the reaction. Yeah,
correct me up.
No chemistry.
It was quiet during that scene, and then suddenly, like, I was not talking, and then suddenly you're just like, no chemistry. Like, clearly in the writing voice, it was so funny.
I don't see it. I really don't. They're both fine actors, like you mentioned.
Yeah.
It's just it's missing the oomph. It's missing the oomph. No oomph.
Yeah, I don't know, because we have a clear example, like we're not gonna get into it, but we have a clear example in this episode in a similar timeline of relationship of two people having chemistry.
Right.
So like I don't know what the little hidden sauce is to that, but like it's not there.
It's not here. Yeah.
There is a cute moment. There is a cute moment in here though, where like he compliments her and is like, "Oh, you are an intelligent, smart young lady," or whatever. And then she's like, and like he like startles at that. He's like, like,
and what else am I supposed to say?
Yeah. Like it's a choice moment.
It is.
But yeah, I fully agree. It's whatever.
Yeah.
Overall.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's all I have to say about that scene.
Yeah. So going to the next one where we previously discussed of Coop talking to Harry about why he was targeted. There's a little part in here that like as a running joke that happens again later of like when they're describing the food, they're purposefully trying to ick Harry out so he'll go through him because he's hungover.
Yeah.
And I just love like him describing the food and then him running off and then the smile afterwards. It's so funny.
And the anchovies, and then Harry.
Yes, exactly. Now here's where it gets difficult. You take a packet of anchovies and then he runs off. He's like, and that'll do it. Like it's so good.
It's good.
I'm just happy seeing them together. I think like I'm just like, oh.
Especially after Harry was in a slump, like the last two episodes before this, like chronologically. Yeah. Just like, oh, Harry's in a better spot now.
He's not, and again, this is kind of a pattern throughout this part of the series, but like especially this episode, he's not all the way there yet, though. Like it is a growing back into where he's going to be. Like it is a process, right? And like. In a lot of soap operas, you would like hit the button and then they're good. They're back to normal. Right. Hell, not even in soap operas. In a lot of TV shows, you hit that button and, oh, I'm actually fit for duty. I'm all good, right? Or like, oh, I'm actually a good guy now, so I'm all good. Like we see like in this, the big departure that they do from like TV shows and soap operas and stuff is that they're like, no, it does take time. It's going to be a little bit, you know?
Right. I like it. I like how it lets him breathe, I guess.
Yeah.
Breathe.
Yeah.
So that's nice. Okay, I'll move on to the next scene. And it is at the police station. I call it the bonsai scene. How the bonsai is from Josie. And from the previous episode that I watched, I know that there is a bug, and it is explained out a little bit later into the scene that there is a bug in the bonsai. Then director FBI Gordon comes
Cole
in, and he's a character.
He's so funny.
He is a character.
Because I think the only time you've seen him so far outside of that is him being confused about David Bowie being in his office.
Yes.
And that's a great scene too, but like he's so funny in this scene.
Yeah.
Like absolutely unhinged. Like
I love there's the part where the director is talking about Wyndham Earl and how he says that he's a schizo, and then Wyndham Earl is listening and he has like this look on his face of I'm not a schizo. What the hell?
So the thing about that, right, is like and obviously outdated terminology 90s. Okay, good. Let's address that, move on. Okay, what's great about this part is that like so they bring up the drug haloperidol, right? Again, yes. Which I did make sure to highlight for you last episode of what they gave the major.
Yes.
Not the group, but what Wyndham Earl gave the major when they found him.
Yeah.
Right. So now we hear that it's what the one-armed man used, and that Wyndham Earl was using it to pretend to have gone crazy.
Right.
And so that's why Gorgonzola is like, definite schizoid maneuvering, which is an insane thing to say. But also I think he's implying like he's pretending to be that way, maybe, right. But is that way? I don't know, but it's an insane thing, and you're right.
It is an insane thing to say, yes.
The cutaway to Wyndham is funny, but I think it also sucks. Yeah, so I'll let you finish your thoughts on it before I get into that aspect of it. But
yeah, I misheard him, and then I thought the drug's name was just Paradol, and then he said hella Paradol, like he used hella Paradol to like make
that's so much funnier though. Actually, you know what? That's so much funnier. Just the concept of Gordon and Cole. He took hella Paradol.
He took hella Paradol, which is like, that's what I wrote in my notes, so I thought I'd point that out to you.
That's so funny.
Oh my gosh. And then there's a note that I wrote here about aliens, question mark?
Yes.
Because aliens. And then I'll finish off the scene, then we can talk about it a bit more. But the director reinstates Coop with a gun, and it's a beautiful gun. And then Coop admires the gun as he walks away from the.
Made me want to get metal, cast models of guns. I'm not a big gun nut. I don't. We need regulations. Yeah, anyone who knows me. My sense on that is pretty obvious. That said, guns are cool. And I think it's hard to. I think it is hard to have an honest conversation if you can't at least admit that much, right? In their design and how that's why so many games are about guns, man.
True. Very true.
Right? And in the same way that I would love to collect masks from different games and media and stuff, I would also love to collect model metal guns, but I'm poor.
Right.
But this is a nice little model and made me think I would love to start that collection.
Fair enough. It
is very pretty.
It's cool to see. It was a very pretty gun. I do agree. It was shiny.
Yeah.
It was all nice and shiny and stuff. Yeah, anything else that you want to say about that scene before I move on to the other half of that scene?
Okay, so we are moving into the Wyndham Earl part of that scene, yeah?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
Every thought I have about the rest of it is in that in the Wyndham Earl part, yeah.
Cool, I will get into it now. So, the scene cuts to Wyndham Earl after he's done listening to them through the bonsai. He tells Leo to pull 3 cards and then a 4th card. So he pulls out Queen Donna, Queen Audrey, Queen Shelley, and King Coop out of the deck of cards. And then he pulls out the Queen of Hearts out of Leo's collar of his bathrobe. And
it was supposed to be appearing from behind the ear magic trick, right?
No, it looked like it was in his
I think that's where they put it for the magic trick to work. But I think it was supposed to be what's behind your ear? I think that's what they were going for.
Okay. It didn't work that well because I could see it in the collar.
But again, talking about a later scene with Wyndham Earl, we saw for a second what the show used to look like. So maybe it would have gotten away with it back then.
True. That's true. And then he's like, I'm gonna kill the queen, and Coop is gonna watch. And he brings up Miss Twin Peaks, of how the winner of Miss Twin Peaks will be the person that he kills. And then Leo has a look on his face that looks like he's understanding. And so, yeah, that's the end of that scene.
I keep banging on the drum. Less is more with Wyndham Earl. They didn't need... I think it sucks that they have... even if you're showing him... in these other scenes I don't like him in, where they reveal that he's been around and doing stuff, and I think it sucks. It makes him cartoonish or whatever. even if you kept those, telling us, the audience, that the bonsai is bugged sucks.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Let us find that out. That would be an interesting twist of like, oh, this is why we couldn't catch him this whole time.
Right. Like the bonsai is immediately introduced and then it's immediately shown like, oh, there's a bug in the bonsai.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Yeah, I agree.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, and you could give clues to something like that of him knowing their exact plans without showing us him listening in. And then when that reveal happens in a couple of episodes, which we saw, reveal in quotations because the reveal happens here, but like when they catch up, it's like, oh, okay, we're, in that same headspace, and maybe in that situation it'd make more sense for Coop to be agitated and ignoring Andy, and like how we talked about, he was out of character in that last episode. If we were in that same headspace of like, oh, this is how he stayed ahead, maybe we would relate to that a little bit more, In addition to that, I think that this scene sucks for additional reasons. In that, in the last episode, he's like, oh, I need to get them to feel fear, my favorite emotional state, right? Like in order to enter the door or whatever. But he was already planning on killing the queen. Like, why? That shouldn't be his plan currently. Or if it is like. I also have additional information that I can't share that makes this scene even worse.
Oh, okay.
Which this scene and this plan sucks from every angle you look at it. Like, it is so dumb that he's like, oh, I'm gonna play this chess game with Coop. But I'm actually going to now have this new card motif. So I guess you could start saying it's games in general, but I don't remember it evolving beyond cards and chess. So it's not really a game motif. It's just a mixture of motifs. In addition to that, you're now being like, I was torturing Coop with this plan, but now I'm actually going to do this other thing. It's schizoid maneuvering. Stick to a thing, and like, I
agree.
And like a big part of that is because the marketing right now in Twin Peaks, when this episode is coming out, is that like, especially after Laura Palmer's stuff was at least semi-resolved, they really started to push for like, oh, look at the heartthrobs of Twin Peaks. And like, they were on like Rolling Stones with like Shelley, Audrey, and Donna and Coop. And like, it was really pushed as like, look at these little, like it's a heartthrob show and romance, which, as you've seen, not actually the part, like it's not the driving force of the show. It was really weird. But like, the show's has this last little gasp of breath of like 6 episodes that they're allowed to do. And they're trying to get back their momentum, maybe aim for a season 3, maybe do. And so they're really pushing like, look at the 3, oh no, the 3 heartthrobs are in danger, right? The 3 ladies of Twin Peaks are in danger.
Okay.
But it's like, narratively, it makes zero sense for him to be doing this. To be targeting them, like Shelley, maybe because of Leo, and you're torturing Leo for fun, I guess. But then, like, why the fuck is Donna in there? Like, Donna and Coop have zero relationship. Why is she listed in that? And then you're like, oh, and I'm gonna kill the person who wins Miss Twin Peaks in front of Coop, and that's gonna be my evil plan. And it's like, but we know, especially, this is actually, you know what? I realized it's not spoilers because we saw it in the last episode. His plan isn't to torture Coop. His plan is to get to the Black Lodge. The Coop thing is a side quest he's doing. So what is this? Why is this here? It just confuses his plot line of being like, well, I'm just doing whatever. And that's not interesting. And then you keep incorporating him into the show and showing all, like, at least if you're gonna make him like a crazy psychopath and like we don't know what he's doing, then don't let us know what he's doing. But but we see every step of what he does. It's like, well, then, like, we lose the mystery of a psychopath moving in the dark, but then, like, because we see everything he's doing, but then we also lose, like the calculated murderer who's making plans, and we're gonna see it unfold because he doesn't make a plan. He's just doing whatever. It's all bad. It's all bad.
I am missing some key pieces of like the mystery, but what I can gather from Wyndham Earl, it doesn't make sense. So what I mean by that is, like,
I mean, you could stop there.
There's that scene. There's the scene where, like, he sends the letter to Shelley, Audrey, and Donna, right? Like, they all have like 3 pieces of a letter, right? And, like, I don't know anything that, like, happens with the end of that letter, but then that goes nowhere. Like, it's like it's like Wyndham is trying to connect those 3 together, but then in the end, he doesn't kill any of, like, the target is really Miss Twin Peaks. So it's like, why is he involving the 3 main girls when in the end he's not going to really do anything with them? Like, it's Annie that I know after last episode that, like, he kidnaps and kills or tries to kill. And so it's just confusing to me that the whole, that's why I'm like, I haven't, like, I think I mentioned in a previous episode, like, the Wyndham Earl stuff, like, I wasn't super interested at first, if you remember. I was like, I want the murder mystery stuff, and the Wyndham Earl is secondary kind of stuff. And the show kind of treats it that way too. Does that make sense? Where, like, he does things, but then they lead nowhere. Like, they don't do anything. He's just kind of there in the background. And so, yeah, I'm not sure what to think of it, basically. I'm not sure how to kind of process it.
It's... I hate it so much. It's... because, like, I think conceptually the pieces are there, which is why, like, they have him as a character in the first place, right?
Right.
But what they do with him is so dumb. Consistently, like, we're supposed to think he's this big bad, and it's like, I don't. I mean, if we're trying to be generous, then the whole sending letters and doing all this is to distract Cooper from whatever, you know, get Cooper to play his games or whatever. But, like, even then, that's stupid.
Right. Yeah.
Like, what narrative purpose for us, the viewer, does that serve besides to waste our fucking time?
Right. Like the whole chess game stuff. Like, they're talking about the chess game, and then the cards kind of take the place of the chess game, you know, with, like, the queen and...
But they're
blah,
still
blah,
playing
blah, blah.
chess.
But they're still playing chess, yeah.
Like,
so it doesn't... I am missing episode pieces, but I have a feeling that it will not be satisfactory.
No, hey, spoilers? I think I spoiled that for you with how... In the... How many episodes of this have we seen now? Like... 13, 14, something like that.
14. Yeah, 13,
this
14.
would be 34 out of 48. No, let's see. Oh, yes, we are on the trajectory. The only thing you're missing for this plot line is 19 and 20.
19, 20, yeah. So I have watched everything up until this point.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Yeah, well, so starting from 15 onwards, or actually starting from, 10 onwards?
11.
You've seen... 10. Yeah, you've seen 10, so 10 onwards. You're pretty caught up. It's... I think I spoiled it by talking about it constantly throughout how they should have just cut all of it. But, like, you want to have that threat there, just have him be sinister in the background. Like, they give him too much.
Yeah, I agree.
So, yeah, spoilers, Jade. No, it's not fulfilling. No, it's not.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah,
well.
there is a thing that happens that wraps it up that I think is fine, but like it's the important good part of the show that is amazing, and I'm not going to delve into it, is so removed from him.
Oh, okay.
That like him being involved, you're like, you didn't need to be here, actually.
Okay. That's good to know. Oh my gosh. Well, I guess I will be looking forward to that when it comes.
Yeah.
I will look forward to that. One last point that I want to end with is that this scene I kind of like throughout these episodes, I kind of like, because I now that I'm talking about like the earlier Leo scenes of like how abusive he is, I was like gaslighting myself listening to the previous episodes that we've done of like, did I really do feel bad for Leo, or am I just saying that, But this episode, watching Leo in this position did confirm like, no, I actually do legitimately feel bad for this guy because he is so like, it's just sad. He looks like a sad, abused puppy, like sitting there dealing with Wyndham Earl. So like that scene confirmed it to me. So.
He's such a good actor when he doesn't have to open his mouth and talk, like legitimately. No, like legitimately. He tries to be this evil, abusive guy, but like when he talks as this abusive guy, you're like, well, I don't necessarily believe you. But like, but like when he's just being silent and intimidating, you're like, oh, this guy's a psycho murderer.
Right.
And then like, the flip side of that, when we saw him catatonic, which we haven't seen a lot of, but you saw him for a small little bit there, sold that perfectly. And now that he's weird like this, it's like, oh, he's a sad little puppy. Like, he's so good when he doesn't have to talk.
Yeah. So I'm glad that confirmed it for me. I'm like, okay, no, I legitimately do remember Leo, like feeling bad for Leo here. So there's that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I will move on to the next scene.
Before I lose my voice.
They're back at the hotel. Donna sees her mom meet up with Ben Horne in his office. We cut quickly to Nadine and Mike.
Okay, so we did want to talk about this. It's a good button to because it's been a while. If you remember the scene that led up to this in the episode before this of them checking in and the other school kids clocking him.
Yeah.
This is so good. Like he's on cloud 9. And he's like, oh,
he's super
hi,
excited.
Donna. Like, who's his ex? Like, it's so good. The way Nadine is just like on that lollipop or whatever is so choice.
Such a cute scene. It's very funny.
Yeah.
It cuts quickly back to Donna, who asks Audrey about her mom and Ben, and then they go to the back door hidden behind Ben's office. We see Donna hand Ben back letters, which I'm assuming are love letters that she gives back to Ben. Ben is trying to make up for things, and then Ben tries to not seduce Donna's mom, but it's very like a lover reuniting back with his old flame kind of deal, but she's not super into it. But then Donna and Audrey don't see that. They cut in right after that, where Donna's mom tells Ben, like, I need to move on kind of deal.
Yeah.
And then she wheels out of there, and Ben is left holding the letters, and Donna and Audrey are confused. And that's the end of that scene.
Yeah, there's a couple things I like here. One, I've talked about before, I like when there's like, it shows a progress or a backslide, or like how difficult it is for Ben to be a good person.
Right.
But like the fact that he is going to continue to try, I think is ultimately a good idea. But like, so this scene, as gross as it is in that, like by itself, I think in the picture of the arc of him, it's a nice scene of because it's like, oh, he's falling back into his pattern of being kind of like gropey and rapey and like gross.
Right.
And then like, as she like says stop and stuff, he kind of like realizes that he's doing that. And he's like,
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's also a nice little thing of him like being like, I'm trying to do the like make up for it and make amends.
Right.
And she's like, sometimes doing that makes things worse. Like you need to learn how to read. And like, and he clearly doesn't know. And
yes,
I think that like that makes some of the later scenes more powerful.
Yeah.
Though some people might agree with or disagree with that by saying like, well, then he's not being authentic. But I think it's showing his internal struggle rather than him being, you know, whatever.
Right.
Whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So just wanted to say that part. Because
I have more to say about it in a later scene, so I'll save my comments for that.
Yeah.
I'll skip to the next scene where it is the diner scene. And
spoilers. This scene is why I rate this episode so highly. I love this scene.
Okay, we got the log lady. She's eating at the bar. We got Gordon and Harry and Coop. Harry goes to the washroom briefly. Coop and Gordon sit
because
down,
Gordon's like,
Gordon
you take raw meats and you add sardines, and he's like, I need to go. It's always the sardines that gets him too. It's so funny. and both of them together in their coats, and they look at each other as he runs off. It's so good.
And then we got Gordon talking loudly. And then he sees Shelly. He goes to Shelly. He yells at Shelly. Shelly's like, please calm down. Gordon's like, wait, I hear your voice. And then Shelly's like, what is this crazy guy doing here? There's a part where she looks at Coop like briefly, but it doesn't cut to Coop's reaction. Like she like looks at Coop, but then nothing happens. And then it cuts back to Gordon, and Gordon's yelling. And then the log lady says something. And then Gordon's back to being loud. And then Shelly goes like, then Shelly talks. And then Gordon's like, wait, I hear your voice again. I wrote the word bumblebees because Gordon says something about bumblebees.
He says so many things. Listen, there's so many lines I want to go back to, actually, though.
There's Shelly. I wrote the notes. Shelly, the cure for deafness? ?
Yep.
And then it cuts to Coop and Harry, and then Annie serving them. Annie being a weirdo just as much as Coop is a weirdo. They're a good match together. Yes. Harry realizes he's the third wheel for the first time in his life when he's next to Coop. And then Coop is very starry-eyed lovers for Annie. And then she mentions the owl cave, and that's the end of that scene. There's a lot going on in that scene.
To go in reverse order on this real quick, just because of what you just said. So Harry realizing he's the third wheel, there's a callback there to season 1, episode 2, which we saw, where they go and they sit at the Packard's house, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And as they get up and go, Coop says to Harry, so how long have you been in love with her? Talking about
Josie.
Yeah. So that's a nice little callback I wanted to highlight. So yeah.
Cute.
Do you have thoughts on this scene you want to get into? Because I have a lot of thoughts on this scene.
Okay, I know you have a lot to say about it, so we'll give you your space. So I'll make my comments real quick.
Okay.
Gordon is a character. I don't know where to place him in my head of, is he really annoying, but annoying to the point, like Sheldon Cooper from Big Bang Theory, you know what I mean? Like, is he annoying because he is funny annoying, or is he annoying because he's annoying kind of deal?
That's fair.
I don't know where to place Gordon yet. Shelly is great in this scene. I really like Shelly. She is fantastic. The fact that the log lady is there is crazy. And I really liked, I liked seeing Annie's weirdness with Cooper, because scenes of Annie and Shelly, Annie is like normal, like she's like a normal girl, like she's portrayed as normal, whereas like when she's with Coop, it's like, oh, like this is why she's a good match with Coop, is because she's a weirdo too. And so I liked seeing that side of Annie, because I was wondering why Coop would be into someone like Annie, aside from her being an attractive lady, right?
Right. Yeah.
So seeing the weird side of Annie was like, oh, okay, so this makes sense. It makes sense now why why they are good together, right? Because I am, as people know who have watched previous episodes, I am an Audrey Coop stan.
Yes.
And so like seeing the different chemistry, like there's a different chemistry between Audrey and Coop versus Coop and Annie. And so I like seeing the difference between why they are a good match together too. And so I liked that. I like seeing that in that scene. So those are my comments. Those were my comments.
Okay. So thing I like. So I don't know how to go about this. So there's a type. Yeah. So you talk about Gordon Cole that way makes a lot of sense, because it's like there's a lot of things that David Lynch does well. Tension, horror, dread, surrealism, right? Like that's something he's very good at.
Right.
Whether he's good at comedy differs person to person.
Okay.
I think he's fucking hilarious. I think there's so many things he does where I'm like, this is batshit insane and I love it. Like there's like his sense of humor is almost exactly my sense of humor. Like there's only a few misfires of comedic scenes that he does where I'm like, oh, I don't know about that. Like most of the time I'm like, no, this is brilliant. I love this. And so like everything out of Gordon Cole's mouth, I love. It's so funny to me. Like he's sitting in the booth and like to start it off, like Cooper having to yell Shelley Johnson, so and then she looks over and he's like, hi, like to Gordon Cole is great, and she's like, she's beautiful, reminds me of the babe without the arms, and then quietly Coop's like, the Venus de Milo, like not even actually answering him. Like that's so good. And then he's like, she's the kind of lady that makes you want to speak a little French, and you're like, okay, great. Like just brilliant, absolutely insane. And like going up, talking to her, ordering her thing, and he's like, he's ordering, and then he's like, and I might tell you a small antidote without of no small amusement, and you're just like, right, the man's insane. Like it's so good. And like I think that him yelling at all of this at the top of his voice just heightens it all for me, because I'm just like, there's like there's a level of that if you just say that normally that I don't think it sells nearly as much as a guy just in a booth yelling it. It's so funny. Oh my God. And like I'm tearing up laughing about it now. Like there's 2 points in this episode that made me cry, and this scene is one of them. Like it's so funny. And then like I love, so like there's this expectation with the log lady of when she shows up, it's going to be important, partially because of like her intros, and like she's so weird, and like she's given, like you talked about like she has information, why isn't she sharing it? Like that was you went off on that before, right?
Yeah.
And so to have a scene where she's just there enjoying her pie, and the only line she says is that like this pie is a miracle, and she says it like she's arguing, like her line delivery is so choice. Like she's not saying it like, oh, you should try the pie, or like making conversation. She's like, this pie is a miracle. Like okay, thank you, Margaret. Like,
thanks, log lady.
Like it's so funny to just have her be there eating pie. And like her, the lady who plays that, Margaret Coulson. No, that's. Yes, that is her name. Okay. Like is a longtime collaborator with David Lynch. Like right. From his first student films. She's been involved in everything that he's done. Like they were thick as thieves. So like having them be together on screen like that is kind of nice, kind of fun in a meta way. And like you talked about it, like with the chemistry between Annie and Coop, like especially like if this feels like more saccharine, more like almost like a bubbly high school romance between adults of like, not necessarily, but like the Ed and Norma effect, right? It feels like, oh, kind of bubbly, kind of while like with Coop and Audrey, it feels more like seductive, like murder mystery romance. And I think it works. I really like it. I kind of wish she was in earlier so we could build up to a lot of it. But like simultaneously, this is sometimes how that stuff kind of just happens is you're like, oh, you match my freak. Let's go. Like, right. So, but like this entire scene has me in stitches. And like some people would argue that scene is too long. And some people are going to argue that I've talked about it too long, probably. And that's true. But like, I love how long this scene is. It just keeps going. It's so funny.
I think it's a fine length of a scene. I didn't feel like it dragged too long. Like it didn't overstay its welcome.
It's one of the longer scenes in the episode, though.
Yes, it is.
So if it's not working for you, it can definitely feel grating. But if you're kind of like enjoying the ride, like I think it's funny and well paced.
I think if Gordon was there for a little too long, then it would feel a little long. But he's in there just enough where it's like the humor plays and it plays good in his favor because of it. So yeah.
No, I love this scene. Spoilers: this scene is largely this and like a few other little sprinklings throughout are why I rate this episode so highly.
I see.
I love this. It's so funny.
I can tell you love this scene. I can tell.
Yeah, it was semi downhill from here, and I could feel the energy draining as we got to the end of the episode for myself.
Yeah. I'll get into that. Mm-hmm. The next scene is Donna, and she reads a letter that she got from James. And I thought that was like a cute little thing.
We've had two. Again. So weirdly, we've had two people who were kind of written out of the show pop back up for this episode.
Yeah, Josie and James, which is kind of cool. Like we don't.
Sorry, excuse me. Didn't they both leave on the same episode? Am I remembering that correctly? Because 15 is where they wrap up James's arc of being seduced by the married woman, the black, whatever. And then 16 is where he leaves, and 16 is also where Josie dies.
I think you're right. I think they do leave on the same episode.
And then they both come back for this one, even if it's a voiceover and look at that. That's weird. I didn't really consider that. It's from they left on the same one. Yeah.
There you go. I think it goes with the theme of the title of the episode. Like it's like
On
their
the Wings of Love.
Coming back.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Oh wow.
Oh wow. I know. That's
Usually
a good title for this episode.
Yeah. Well, like normally I ask you what you think about the title at the beginning, but then I was like, let's get through the episode and I'll ask you on the end. But like, no, that's a good point. It fits,
yeah. It fits. I like it. It was nice hearing James again. And then we cut to Donna's dad clearly covering for Donna's mom. Like Donna asks like, oh, how does mom know Ben Horn? And dad goes, I don't think she does. And then Donna's like, well, he was here. And then he was like, oh, it's probably for the charity thing. And then Donna goes, well, mom didn't mention that and blah, 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 blah. And so
we see him get stern about it a little bit.
Yes. Yeah. So Donna's dad is in on it too.
Yeah. Which is interesting. There's a version of this where he didn't know or something, right?
Interesting. Okay.
Well, no, I mean like hypothetically, right? Like there's like in a different script. Right. Or like if you were writing out this storyline, there's a version of this where he doesn't know what's going on.
Right.
Right. It's interesting that he's aware of whatever went on between Ben and Eileen.
Yeah.
It's not that interesting. We know where it goes.
I'm going to cut to the next scene because I wrote his name down and I wrote Perkins I was like, Perkins, library, and then you were like, that's Windom Earle, by the way. And I go, oh, that one really got me. I legitimately did not clock that as Windom Earle. That was a really good disguise for him.
So funny. It's so funny every time.
And then Audrey goes, talks about a verse, and then the librarian kind of creeps her out about it.
The verse is the poem from their ripped up notes.
Yes, from their notes. Yes. And then and then she walks away.
That scene is so weird. Partially because for whatever reason, even if you have a high res version of the show, part of it is blurry. But ignoring that part, that scene is so weird because the part that gives her the ick is hit like she gets weirded out before he gets weird about it.
Right.
Where he says Shelley, like saying who the author is, and she's like, right, gross. Like,
yeah.
It's so weird that's where she reacts that way. Like getting called a queen and like, oh, seeing you recite poetry and standing there, you could be a queen. That would, obviously give the ick. But she was icked out before that, and you're why did do you just not like that poet? Like,
yeah. Fair.
Yeah.
It's again, Windom Earle scene. Don't really care for when he's out in the world like this.
No.
Yeah.
We covered it earlier.
Yes, we did. Going to the next scene, we're back at the diner where Annie and Shelley talk about Miss TP, and then Annie asks about Coop. And then Shelley's like, ooh, you like Coop? And she's like, I'm not interested. And then Shelley's like, okay there. And then that's the end of that scene.
Yeah.
It was a cute one. That's what I mean by like how Annie is so normal when she's with Shelley. Like that's like a typical, like not teenage, maybe a little bit of like teenage girl. You know what I mean? Like kind of
you consider
friendly.
You consider that she was in a convent right before this.
Right.
Like, and so like, it would make sense that she knows the social skills to and she kind of brings it up herself of like, know the social skills to kind of fit in with the women around her.
Yeah.
Of like, oh, I can converse like this and not. But then like, and there's also the other side of it of like, when you meet somebody who is like, also neurodivergent or whatever, and you can kind of unmask a little bit, that kind of floods out. Yeah. And so there little mixtures of both of those things, but like I do agree with you that she seems more normal here. But I feel like it's almost put on a bit, like which is not in a bad way of like, oh, she's trying to act normal around Shelley.
Right. Yeah, and there's a cute little scene.
Yeah.
I'm gonna move on to the next scene. In the sheriff's office, Andy is climbing from the ceiling into the lobby of the sheriff's office, and Lucy's like, what is he doing? And Hawk is there briefly, and he like looks at Andy weird, but then he continues to work because Hawk is the only one who works in the sheriff's office. And then Lucy thanks Andy about how he helped at the Save the Pine Weasel crash out the other day. And Andy's like, no problem, Lucy. And then she's like, what are you doing? And he goes, spelunking.
Spelunking. It's so funny. And she I have to mention, like, I don't know if she's trying to come off this way or not, but she comes off so horny for Andy in this scene.
She does in this scene. Yeah,
she's so horny for him.
She's super into him all of a sudden, and so like, okay, Lucy, like their hot and cold relationship has been fun to watch throughout the episodes and stuff. So to see her back on of like how they fell in love kind of deal is kind of fun. And then she tells Andy to be careful. Yeah, that's a fun scene.
Yeah.
And then the next scene is it's a brief scene, but it's at the waterfall, and there are targets of bison in different colors on the waterfall. And there's a Native American man yelling and shooting suction cup arrows at
Real
the bison.
Quick, I don't know whether to tell you this, but I guess I should.
Okay.
Not a Native American man. First of all, I should tell you that. He's in a Native American headdress.
Yes.
But he is very much Audrey's brother.
Oh, is that Audrey's brother?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even see. I didn't see his face properly. I thought it was just some random guy.
Well, I'm not sure you've ever actually seen him, or if you have, it was like in passing again, like this.
The only time that I've seen him was during the Confederacy scenes, which I kind of
right.
blew
off.
I blew off all of those scenes because they pissed me off.
And he was in the headdress then too.
And he was Yes. I do remember that. Okay, I didn't see his face properly in this scene, so I thought it was just a random guy.
No.
Okay.
So
interesting. Okay.
Again, spoilers for something that doesn't matter. Like it's not a reveal or whatever. I'm just gonna let you know. His whole thing is that he's like mentally disabled.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, that has not come across in any of the episodes that I've watched so far. That's probably a season 1 thing. And I've seen exactly 2 episodes from season 1.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, for what it's worth, not really there either.
Okay.
It's a non-thing. All it is to show that there is tension in their family, really.
I see.
One of the worst parts of this in these 2 seasons is like he doesn't come up much, but is very much using disability as a prop.
I see. So. Okay. Well, yeah.
Bummer.
What?
Bad way to start the episode. Or start the scene. A great scene.
Yeah. It cuts to Ben and Audrey talking, and I finally get that scene that I've been asking about Ben to his daughter, and that is him acknowledging that he has not been good to her, and how he wants a life of happiness, and how he wants to essentially start over and treat Audrey better. And Audrey goes, "I'm your man," which is cute.
Yeah.
They have a cute moment together, and then freaking John Justice Wheeler comes in and interrupts their nice scene. And then Audrey is sent to Seattle to work out a deal. And then she leaves. Then John Justice Wheeler comes in and sits on the couch next to Ben. And Ben is like, "I don't know how to be a good person," which is like very like therapy, like learning that in therapy of like, I don't like coming to terms with like, I don't know how to do this, like being honest with yourself of like, I don't know how to be a good person.
Right. Yeah.
And then John Justice Wheeler goes, "It's always good to tell the truth, or always tell the truth." And then he's like, Ben is like, you're right. And then Ben just drops "I'm in love with your daughter." And then Ben goes, "Wait, what?" And then they share, and then Ben gives him a carrot.
Yep.
And that's a sign of acceptance, I feel. And then the scene ends with the waterfall guy yelling in the background.
Yeah, this scene made me cheer up. I don't know whether it's because I lost my dad in the last year, but there's parts of it like there's a part where he's like, "Oh, I can't remember if I've ever been good to you," and she does a little jab in there where she's like, "Well, maybe when I was little," but like definitely meant to be joking, but like a layer of honesty there, right? That like was very reminiscent of like conversations I've had with my dad as like you know, he's told me stories of growing up, of me growing up, of where he messed up. That, you know, probably not good to share on the internet, but like, no, it's not bad, but like, you know, he missed my baptism to go to a strip club and stuff like that,
I
right?
Get you. Yeah,
which paints a picture of my dad that he wasn't that person for a majority of my life, to be clear. But like, in a similar time frame, like I was around like 14, 15, where he really flipped his life around. And like, we've had conversations like this, like, of like, hey, here's where I'm aware that, I've messed up and I want to be better for you. And, that type of thing. And so like, it felt very, very real. And including the way that she would like do the little jokey jab, but also be like
a hint of like a stab of honesty of like,
you're coding it in humor so you don't hurt the person who's obviously low and trying to help, but you don't want to also blow it off. Right. And like, so
you
like,
don't want to sweep it under the rug kind of deal.
Yeah. And like, I think that this scene coming after him again, fucking up and being gropey towards Eileen in the earlier scene, where it's like really staring him in the face of like, I don't know how to do this is really good. And like, him choosing her as like his like right hand man, like being like, listen, like the Kennedys, when they went in, he took his brother, and that's how we got through the missile crisis. And like, I need somebody to keep me on the right path. And I know that's a lot to ask of my child, but like, you have that in you. Will you guide me? And like, it's sweet. Like, he recognizes that his brother Jerry was a bad influence and not good at that part,
Right.
So it's just made me cheer up. This scene and the other one. This scene and the other scene are why I rate this so highly.
I see.
Yeah.
I see.
Very specifically.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I agree with every other comment you've had on this episode, like, to be clear. So
that's fair. I really did like the scene. This, like I said, this is the scene that I have been asking for Ben.
Right, yeah.
Is like, where is this change of a person? Like, I want that recognition on his end of like what Audrey has done for him and what she had to put up with. Like, I really wanted that from Ben, and I got it. So I'm very pleased that this scene exists and I got to witness it. So
okay.
Yeah. I love it. I like it. It's a good scene.
Yeah. I even like the John Justice. I don't like Billy Zane interrupting the scene. I think that their little tension as she leaves is bad. But I actually do like when they both sit down on the couch and like
I like that. Yes, I agree.
I do like that part of it. That there's a little connection issue there where she leaves, but overall I do like it. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. The next scene is the cave scene.
Fuck this.
It starts with Andy climbing, and then he falls. And then Hawk is like, it's this way to the signal, the sign on the wall. And then we find the sign on the wall. And then there's a piece of, like, there's a drawing of like a fire flame on top of the symbol. And then there's an owl that scares him. And then Andy tries to hit the owl. Yeah, it didn't not scared me, but like I was like, oh, okay, shit,
that's what it was. Well, so I can't see it, so all I heard was a jump scare as it happened. You're like,
I wasn't expecting the owl. I wasn't expecting the owl to be real. I thought the owl was like a vision or something.
Right, like, because where in the fucking cave is this? Like, if they had to go spelunking, if they had to go down into a cave, where in the cave that is so well lit, but whatever, it's a TV show. We're not going to poke holes. Where is this like where is this in the cave?
This owl coming
like
from?
Where is this in the cave for this owl to be there? Because either it's spelunking and they've gone so deep in the cave to get to this point where it's important and hidden away, or it's where everyday people walk all the time and an owl could get in, and it's like, how did no one discover what this was? This treasure the hidden temple ass puzzle.
Yeah, so that's why I was like surprised about the owl, because I legitimately didn't think the owl was like physically there, and then it swooped down, and I was like, oh, so the owl is here. It is a real thing, and so yeah. And then Andy Sparks, he sticks his pick in the wall and the fire part, and it sends sparks, and then the wall breaks off, and there's a pole, a stone pole, and then it's
this
a
is so dumb. It's so dumb. It's so dumb. It's so dumb. I hate
that's
this.
That's the end of
I
that
hate this so much.
scene.
I hate it so much. Like this is on the level of as bad as the rest of the Wyndham Earl stuff, which makes sense because he also comes in and does it. It's so like, what is this plot line? Like, okay, we need to find a map to find this place, right? Like, oh, we need to find the Black Lodge. That's where this is going. We know that this is where it's going because we've seen it before. Why? What is this thing of like, oh, if we hit the fire with a pickaxe in the right spot, the perfect sized panel will fall off and there will be a little pole that later, and I've just stitched that scene on right here because I don't give a fuck. I don't want to talk about it more than what I'm talking about it here. You rotate it around in the weird size that it's in. You rotate it upside down and that unlocks something. It causes it to shake and like it's so divorced from everything else that we've ever seen in this show. It's like, why is this where this has decided to go? Like, oh, take us into the forest and have us like maybe find little pieces. Like we know that eventually we're gonna see a map. Maybe have the different drawings in different areas. One of them could even just be on the cave wall in here if you need to be in a cave for some dumbass reason. And then like all these disparate pieces that you found in different parts of the forest and in this cave, you threw up onto the thing, and then that's why it's such a surprise that it's a map, is because they would have been separated, right?
Right.
Like, well, at least that would feel like an adventure and not like we're now in a cave and oh, here it is. Like what is this? What is this? It's so dumb. It's so divorced from everything else.
I have thoughts about
Go for it.
scene.
I'm done talking about it. I'm over it, so I'll listen to your thoughts.
It is another one of those things of like, okay, how do I explain this? So, you know, when the White Lodge was first brought up and I was like, this is a nothing burger. I'm not going to talk about it because I don't care. And then it kept on coming up of like the White Lodge and then the general disappearing into the moonlight. And like, I was like, oh my God, now I have to pay attention to this. And then I see a scene like this and I hear your reaction. And then I watched where it goes because I've seen episode 21 at this point. And I see that like, it's not really connected to anything. And I'm like, I feel justified in like not caring about it. You know what I mean? Because it's just like,
okay, I actually do have thoughts on your thoughts. I do have thoughts on your thoughts.
Fair. It's just like, if it was you're right. If it was puzzle pieces that fit together, then I would enjoy watching this more. But this comes out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like it's a very it's like, oh, we're in a cave now. And there's like hieroglyphics. And like the hieroglyphics have shown up in previous episodes. But then like, I don't know, it's just so weird to me. It does stick out as like, why did this have to happen? It could have been executed better.
Yeah.
And so I feel justified in that sense of like, I don't have to pay attention to this stuff because it's a nothing burger.
Okay.
Like, I imagine that the cave does not come up again. Maybe it does. Maybe it does in a later episode. But like, I just can't imagine that it does because the forest is like, from the symbolism of what I've seen so far of like the trees and the wood and the town and how like the wood speaks to people and then the log lady, like to me, all of that symbolism comes from the forest and the trees.
Or if you're going to go,
if
you're going to go with the horror thing, right? Like to make it scary. What if like that you had to walk and find this batch of trees where that map was carved into a bunch of trees across a bunch of things. And like, it's clear that they're not healing. So like, you have to like, at first you're not seeing it and you have to go up and like raise yourself to get near the tops of trees. So it shows how old this is in these old, like deeply old trees, right? That's what's there.
Right.
And then like across, like you have to like get in the right position and see all of it line up, right? But then you're like, oh, this is old and those trees haven't healed. What is this, right? Like highlight that, and then you're like, oh, okay,
yeah, something about trees, but that were randomly in a cave. Like it doesn't fit properly. It doesn't fit properly. Like the puzzle pieces are there, but the puzzle pieces are from a different puzzle. And they fit.
It's like when you get like,
why does it not match?
It's like when you get those puzzles that were cut with the same key, so you can like mash, like they actually do match up, and you can put them in, but they're like making a different picture, and they just shift. Like you've seen those? Like it's exactly like that.
Yeah, and exactly.
I think that leads into the thing I had a thought on about what you were talking about with like, oh, you know, having to pay attention to the major and this White Lodge, Black Lodge stuff, right? It cheapens that part of it. Like, because like, I love that part and I want you to pay attention to that part. But then it's like, but also, this cave is technically part of it, even though that sucks and is dumb. You know, like...
Yeah.
Like you're like, you feel that same way and you're reading my reaction on that. And it's like, you do technically have to put this in the same basket as that. But at the same time, a lot of the stuff that's in there that you're like, oh, I'm not going to pay attention to this. And now that you know it's important, you're like, all right, I kind of have to. Like in my brain, I would separate that because it's like, yes, but also no. Like... It's making the same puzzle, but they're using it from a different set, you know, like it's so, but I also see why you think that not like, this is what you're getting in this plot line. And so you're like, oh, this is stupid as shit. And I'm like, it is, but also there were parts to it that are cool that I've ruined by combining it with this stupid shit. Like, I'm so sorry. We'll get there. We'll get there, maybe.
Yeah. So, this scene. Okay, I want to move on from it. It's finally the last scene that we talked about, because we combined the last scene with this scene that we just talked about. So, our final scene for this podcast is the hotel scene, where Annie's at the bar. She doesn't know what to order, and the bartender helps her with that. And then Coop comes in, and he's talking to Diane, about to explain the hieroglyphics on the wall. But then he sees Annie, and Annie is there, and they get to talking. And then Coop sees that she has a cut on her wrist, and Annie kind of like notices that he noticed, and then tries to change the subject. And then the last note I wrote about it is, Annie is weird. And then that's it. That's all I have about the scene. But yeah, it's a nice finishing scene with Coop and Annie. So,
and good thing the episode ended here.
Yes.
Good thing there's nothing else to this episode. Do you have thoughts on it?
No thoughts. I think I mentioned everything I need to about Coop and Annie and the other scene. So,
two things I'd like to, it might devolve into more, but two things. One, I like the way he cuts off his tape recorder to Diane for multiple reasons. But the biggest of which being that, like, we're already starting to see cracks form in Coop's professionalism because he's falling for somebody and getting distracted. Which we saw a little bit earlier with in this episode, where like he's flirting with her or whatever, when he's supposed to be there with Harry talking about what to do about Wyndham Earl. And he's just so clearly distracted, and like he walks in talking about the owl cave and does not finish the thought, does not like wrap up or do anything. It's just mid-sentence, cuts off, and then goes in and talks to her. I like that in this moment, it feels cute and romantic, but we know that he has a slip of professionalism later that's very bad, that ends up with her getting caught, right? And so like, I like that they're already setting that up.
Okay.
When he notices the cut on her wrist, there's a second where it cuts back to it and it's just a still frame. What's with that? What's with that though, actually?
Maybe they really needed to emphasize that it's there, but they didn't have enough footage. So it's just a still image of it. And that's my guess.
It's so weird. Like, why'd you do that? You could have just held on it. Like,
yeah.
It's weird.
Fair enough.
Yeah, that's the big one. I guess a tiny little microscopic third one. I don't know what they're agreeing to in this. Like, are they agreeing to date, or is this about like him allowing himself to be a support system for her?
Yeah.
She doesn't directly change the subject. She more like talks around it, but is still talking about it, which feels very real to me. You know, like not everyone mentions they went to suicide school like I do, and so like, I that feels real. But also, it does leave me very confused as to what they're agreeing to in their relationship.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, it's unclear.
Yeah, but if they know and they know their boundaries, that's fine.
That's all that matters.
I'm confused.
Fair enough.
All right, so that was On the Wings of Love. What do you think about that title?
It's a good title. I think it's a good title.
Very much
fits. Love in different ways. It's love between not just like it's interesting because it's like love between like Ben Horn and Donna's mom. It's love between
like love lost, like
love lost. Yeah, exactly. It's love between like Lucy and Andy get a moment together.
Yeah.
Harry kind of gets it at the beginning with the hallucination of Josie.
Right.
Donna gets a love letter from James, and then of course Annie and Coop together, and and then there's the love between Ben and Audrey that I think is important too.
Yes.
Highlight. And so it's a good title. I like it. I'm a fan.
All right.
Yeah.
Having talked through it, is there anything else that like stands out to you post conversation compared to?
Not necessarily. Okay. I do like going back to like, what do I think of the episode in terms of ranking? I do stick by, after we've talked about it, I do stick by my comment of like, I think I would rate it lower.
Yeah.
Because of like, there are like, not that they're nothing burger scenes, but like,
there's a lot of stops.
Episodes, yes, there's been a lot of episodes like ever since we hit like, like there's like a swoop of like, we watched like the bad episodes and I didn't have much to say about them. But then we hit like a good streak of episodes.
On those bad episodes,
I had a lot to say about it. Sorry, what were you saying? Sorry.
No, sorry. Funny enough, technically, because I'm editing it, during the bad episodes, even after we switched to the editing style, there's a whole lot more to talk about during the show itself that we talked a lot during episodes. And then we started to stop talking during episodes.
Right.
And that's where I measure the gap of, we're now into the good stuff. Like, so, yeah.
Yeah. I was about to say, there's been a good chunk of episodes, like looking at my notes, like I want to say like the last like maybe 5 episodes that we've watched, I have had a lot to say for every single scene in the episode, whereas this one I didn't have a lot to say about a lot of the scenes, you know what I mean? And so it felt like a lower episode because of that, whereas like I said, not that they're nothing burger scenes, because the stuff that happens in them are good. Like for example, like I'm gonna pull out one scene, like Andy and Lucy, like in the end, it's not a big scene and nothing really happens and like I don't have much to say about it, but I did like seeing, Lucy warm up again to Andy. But like that's all I have to say about it, compared to the previous episode that we watched where I'm looking at my notes and there was a lot of notes with it. So that's why I would rate this episode lower than at least the 2 previous episodes that we watched. So
that's fair. Yeah, for me personally, the episodes we've been watching for a little while now would probably hover like scene to scene. If you had like a barometer, they would hover around like a upper like 7.7 to 8 pretty consistently, right? This episode hovers around a 6 and then has 2 scenes that spike to 10.
Right. Okay.
Right. And I'd rather have that for me personally than have like it's hard to measure that because my judgment on this shifts back and forth. I think that like I'm always a sucker for that type of redemption arc from Ben, and so that like speaks to me personally, right? Even before my dad died, like that's always just been a thing that I like, and like it's part of the reason I love the God of War remake or the reboot like so much, and like I think that like the scene with Gordon Cole, that diner scene is just aces, and so like when I think of this scene, that's what sticks out to my brain. And like as we go on, I think that like for watching experience, yes, absolutely, you are correct. The other episodes are better. I think that what's gonna stick in the brain, if by the end of this, like if we go through these episodes, you're gonna be like, I kind of remember what happened in this one. I remember liking it. Can't remember what happened in this one. I remember liking it. But if we talk about this one, you're gonna be like, oh, this is a scene with, or this is the one with Ben, and this is the one where Gordon Cole's yelling in the diner, right?
Right.
And so that kind of sticks more. There are a lot of episodes that'll hover at like a 7 and spike to 10. There's some episodes that'll be nearly a 10 the entire way through. So like, it's all relative. But yeah. Like in terms of that, I think that this is stronger, personally.
I see. That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah. So yep, that's why I rate it the way I do. So what is Twin Peaks about for you in this run so far?
I'm going back to aliens. It's freaking aliens, Mac. I'm going back to aliens. I'm going back to my alien theory.
All right. How do you think that manifests as aliens? Sorry, like I don't think I've ever asked you that before.
As a joke, it's been a joke of like it's aliens. Clearly it is. Sure. But like if you want a serious answer, actually, part of me thinks it is not alternate dimensions, but like, is it? Part of me is like I'm in like a Marvel thing. I've been rewatching the Marvel movies recently. So part of me is like, what if it like the general went to the White Lodge and he came back all frazzled and shit, but he came back generally fine. And so is it an alternate dimension that he went to? Is it an alternate timeline? Is it like where does that fit in with like why does Wyndham Earl want to go to the Black Lodge so far? Is it to escape the world as a whole, or is it to change the world? Like that's where my mind goes of like what is going on with Twin Peaks here and like what's going on with this town. And so part of me is like it's alternate dimensions.
Okay.
And so that's my serious answer. But the answer that I'm going to give you right now is aliens.
Gotcha. To kind of get an even more serious answer out of you.
Okay.
What about like thematically is standing out to you? And if you want to like cut the episodes into chunks of like this run of episodes we're watching, I feel like the last few we've watched all actually line up really well of like rhyming with each other back and forth throughout. And I think that actually includes this episode of like things that are kind of brought up, like the haloperidol, or like the things that are like in the last episode, we talked about a lot of echoes between that one and episode 5 or season 2, episode 5. And there were a lot of echoes there as well. And like, so if we're bundling these into little blocks thematically, what are you feeling?
I don't know how to answer that question, because it's very like a deja vu kind of feeling with it. Like it feels like, hold on, I'm rereading my notes of the last episode that we watched, because we've been hold on, where is that episode actually? Okay, season 1, episode 7, and because I had I'm going to say it. Okay, for those that don't know and who don't care about the watch order, or who are watching this podcast in a weird ass way, why? But for those that want to recap, we watched season 1, episode 7, season 2, episode 5, and then suddenly season 2, episode 21. That's like the jumps that we made throughout the last couple episodes. And so it seems like there's a lot of reflection between season 1 and season 2. Like a lot of, like, even like you mentioned before, like even like how Harry realizes that he's a third wheel for the first time between Coop and Annie. Whereas like, you know, Coop and Harry, like you mentioned earlier, like the Coop is like, oh, I'm a third wheel between Harry and Josie. And that's reflected in season 1, episode 7. And like
that's in episode 2, but yes.
Is it episode 2? Okay.
Yeah.
It's just like it's just interesting, like the deja vu aspect of it.
Yes.
So that which is why it makes me think like dimensions of like, is it a time loop kind of deal, but like in a weird way? Like that's kind of where my mind goes of like, what is going on here? What's happening in this town?
Like the cyclical aspects of people and society, and how those cycles define the reality we're in currently.
Yes, exactly. Like I'll pick it out. Like, for example, James is always getting into some business with another girl. You know what I mean? Like James and frick, what's her name? The main girl in the credits sequence.
Oh, Laura Palmer.
Laura Palmer. James and Laura is very reflective of James and the older woman in in season 2. You know what I mean? Like it's just like, it's not exactly the same, but it's kind of the same, where you can kind of make the connection of James and his character. So that's why it's like interesting of like the deja vu aspect. So
okay.
Yeah.
The patterns people keep falling into, just repeating and repeating, causing the reality that they're stuck in.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
I think that, no, wait. So the following episode that we're going to watch, what do you think happens?
Part of me thinks that it is no Audrey. I don't think we're gonna get Audrey in the next episode. I think we're gonna get a proper map from Windom Earle. I think we'll get the map in the next episode, and I think there's gonna be one more death. I think there's going to be one more body from Windom Earle. I don't know if it's the next episode or the episode after, but one more death, one more body.
Okay.
Yeah.
I actually had a question and I don't remember it anymore about.
Oh, okay.
It has to do with what you know about season 3.
Nothing. I know nothing about season 3.
0.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I won't ask the question.
Okay.
Okay.
You know what? I watched I watched I can't remember which podcast episode. It was one that came out recently where you mentioned that when we first started watching this series and then like the credit sequence is playing at the beginning of the episode of the first episode we ever watched, and I'm like, I ask you like, is it animated? And you're like, oh, you know nothing about this show,
yes.
Jay. Yes. That is that I'm getting that feeling now of like, I don't know anything about. The only thing I know about season 3 is that it was filmed like years after.
Okay, that's actually the question I did want to ask though. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
That's okay. Okay.
I didn't know if you knew about the jump in time or not.
Yes.
I may have mentioned it, but I couldn't remember if I had.
Okay.
But yes, if you know that, then you know we're reaching the end of season 2.
Yes.
How many of these plot lines do you think will echo into season 3? If not like resolved, but like be, we'll see at least a form of resolution or see a thing. What carries over, do you think?
Okay. What carries over? For sure. Okay, it's because I love them, but like Ed and Norma, I want them to be happy together. I want them to be like happy. I don't know if Coop ends up with Annie. Like, I don't know if there's like a tragic end to this budding romance or if they actually do end up together. So that's something that's like a big question mark for me. I think I need to watch one more episode to decide.
Okay.
I think the big thing that I'm hoping happens is because of I know there's a time jump, is Lucy and Andy's kid. I think that there's like a grown, I don't know how much older, like is he around 12 years old? Is he like of age? Is he 18 kind of deal? I think that their kid makes an appearance. And I'm trying to think. And then does Coop leave Twin Peaks and comes back? Does he stay in Twin Peaks? That's also something that's a big question mark for me. And so
something I should maybe should or shouldn't tell you, but I think it'll throw a wrench in the works for you.
Okay.
Is that it's not called Twin Peaks season 3.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
It's called Twin Peaks: The Return.
The Return. Ooh. So Coop, maybe he does leave and then come back. Interesting.
Yeah.
So,
or am I telling you that in this moment to make you think that?
Oh, ooh.
Maybe something else returns?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe. Yeah.
All right. Well,
yay.
That should do it for us today. You mentioned you were maybe I might cut this out. You mentioned you're watching the Marvel movies. Was it for any specific project or you're just for fun?
No, I'm just watching it for fun.
Okay, cool. Well, then never mind. I was seeing if you had something you wanted to plug here. Okay. Never mind then. Fuck me, I guess. Save the Pine Weasel.
Save the Pine Weasel and brush your teeth.